Hello, hope you're having an amazing day. Today I want to share with you this interactive menu. And I know we always get the ones on top of here, but this type of menu it's more like eye-catchy, like a way for you to show your clients, your users something different. So I created two different versions and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's actually super simple. One that automatically displays, and then the other one that you only have it spin if you hover in the element. And let's say if you don't want the user to see it all the time, then you can just close it and then it will automatically have this button right here. So you can just open it and then it will like spin if you hover, and this one will always be spinning. Let's go here. This one will be always spinning unless I hover on that specific item. And you can design the buttons very easy. It's actually not that difficult. So again, I'm going to show you how to do it. You can use it for different things. It was really hard to do because many of the elements, at least in the animations, the ones that Wix come with, won't let you do this type of item. You could have an item spin continuously, but the item inside won't spin in contrary to how it's going. So that way the text will always stay aligned. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, set up your element. And let me actually fix this. We're using Wix Studio, but I'm going to try to do another video for Classic Editor. And the code should still work the same. In this example, we're going to use containers, and then we can use this circle shape, and you can expand it to the size that you want, and then just design it. If you can make it clear, if you want to have an image in the background, or you can keep it like with a color. In this example, we're just going to leave it with a little bit of color just for just to make sure we see where everything is first. And let me do a background image just so we can see that looks nicer. Okay, so let's say it's right here. And then we have our circle here. Always make sure that this is perfect, because for some reason when you add the element, I feel like the circle it's kind of squeezed. So let's do 538. So now it's perfect circle. And then we're gonna add our buttons. So your buttons can be anything. It can be another image. It can be an actual button. And so just feel free to decide what you want to do. For this example, we can just use one of these buttons. So I can do, for example, this one, and then I can expand it. And then right here on the layout, I can do text only. What it's gonna do with this one is you can have the hover effects, like the one I showed you earlier. Whenever you hover, it will also change the color. So if you use an image, you can also do that, but you won't have those effects on it. So that's why you can decide. You can use an image, you can use a button, whatever you decide, and then that's how it's gonna be. So we're just gonna name it button 1, just because I'm not coming up with ideas on what I need to do. Then I'm just gonna duplicate this and then add as many buttons as I need to. So you don't need to add all 6 like my example. It can be less, or it can be more. In this example, we're just gonna do 8. That way you'll see the difference. And the way I align it, so that way it's almost a perfect circle, I'll do the centers first, and then I'll just add everything after. And then just add all your elements here. So we're gonna duplicate this one also, so that way we have all our buttons here. And then, because I don't know how many pages you have. And one thing I would recommend is you can do this for all the pages that you really want people to visit, like the ones that you kind of want to draw traffic to. So that's how I would do it. I wouldn't do all. What if you have like 50 pages, right? Because I know some websites do have that, but you can have it for only a few pages. So let me change this one. I'm gonna do like a darker color. So there is. Now what I'm gonna just do is just, of course, add the names to my buttons. And this one is button 1. Let's say, what about this one? What if it's about? And then this one could be anything else, like contact us. And then let's do history. I don't know, just type in random stuff. So just again, add the buttons that you need. I would do one for home if I'm planning to use this on all the pages. Or actually, let's just do something like services. This could be store. And then this one, it's going to be, will be location. I don't know. And this last one, let's just change it to, what could it be another thing that we need on a website? Let's just do team. And last one could be just like info or FAQ. Okay, so you have your buttons, and now the next part is just making sure everything stays together. So when you if you're working with Wix Studio, one of the common things is that when you expand the screen, then things go all over the place, right? So you want to make sure things adjust correctly. So normally I will do like, I will start with the first two and I will stack them. And then I'll do the next one. I'll usually use my keyboard and then I select both and I'll stack them. And then I'll align them in this way. Again, totally preference there. We can do that last. At least we're gonna now start naming our buttons. So on the code that I'm gonna give you for this example, we need to add the name, the labels or the IDs for the ID, sorry, not labels, for these buttons. So in this case, I have this one. This is gonna be button 1. And then this one is gonna be, I can do button 2. Since I already have it here, I could just leave it there. I need 3 or 4, 5. So all these buttons, I'm gonna use the same label for this ID button. And then all I'm gonna do is add a number to it. So if you see here, this is 1, this is 2, this is button 3, 4, 5, and then this is 8. So here there's something that we need to change. I'm missing 7 or 6. I don't see 6. Oh, here it is 6, and then 7, and then 8. So I have 8 buttons. So you can always go here and check your button IDs also. So in this case, I have them here, button 1. And then you just make sure you have all the IDs. Once you have that, the next step is just pasting the code here. You can have access to this code in this page right here. What I normally recommend is that you match the thumbnail of the video that you're watching with the thumbnail on this list, and I'll give you the right code. If you're still not able to find it, just let me know, and I'll be very happy to help you with that. Okay. So I'm gonna just copy this code that I already have here, and I'm gonna show you how to use it. And we're gonna go to our page here. So all I do is I'll paste the code right here. Right away, you're gonna see there's some errors on the code, and we're gonna change them. So the first thing is the ID for the main box, or this main element, which is the circle. we're gonna change it to box BTN. So it's gonna be box BTN, and BTN is just like I normally use it like for button, because I consider this like a big button, but it's a container. Once you do that, click on the side and then click here, and then that error should go away. Then I have also another error here, which is open menu button. So we're gonna add a close button, and we can also add another one for opening and closing. So let's do this one. And you can use different designs, okay? So it doesn't have to be the one that I'm using, and you can also change it. So if we go to settings, I can change this to menu. And then I can use, for example, this one or any of those ones right there. And then I can go here on the icon and then make the image a little bigger. There you go. And that's how you have your button right here. Okay. And then this one is to close the item. What I would do is I'll put it in the center just so it's easier to see depending on what your goal is. If you don't want to have a close button, then you don't have to use this one. And then you're going to notice here the error. So make sure that if you're going to have it or not, I'll show you where you're going to delete it from the code. But if you're going to have it, then yes. The button here, it says button 7. This is where it closes the spin menu, right? But since I already have a button 7 here, I can no longer use this ID here. But this is important because I want the whole items to stay straight every time the circle spins, right? So what I'm gonna do is, since I have 8 buttons, then I'm gonna change this to button 9. So then I can just change it right here. So that's all you need to do. The labels, and I'll explain to you why this has to be changed to 9. Okay, and then if we go down here, you're going to notice something here on these items. So if you see here, I have a button number 7, and then there's another number 7 here. So this is the number of buttons in your circle. If you want to add more buttons, then all you have to do is just change this. Instead of saying 7, you can change it to an example. Now I have 9 buttons in my circle, and I scroll down here, and I'm going to change it also here. When you change it, be careful, because if you give an extra space, then you're going to have problems. And then we'll take care of these errors right now, but let's go back to here. So if we count all these buttons, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the last one is 9. So I have 9 buttons here, right? And if you have less buttons, let's say you only have 7 buttons, including this one in the middle, then all you have to do is change it here. The reason why it was easier to do it this route is so I don't have to be typing each button label here. So you're going to notice on the text here, the label is button. See? And that's why all of these ones need to have button in the beginning and then the number after. So if you want to use a different term, you can, let's say, only use BTN or use something like buttons instead of button. Then you have to change it right here on these labels, okay? Because that's how you're going to be able to do it. This one doesn't matter. So this one, we're just going to name it open. This is going to be open menu BTN. And this one is to match your ID right here. So once you have that, then everything else, it's pretty much, you're like a 90% done here. So if in this example, as you can see, now it spins. And then if I hover on an element, it's going to stop. Only if I'm in the big circle, then it's going to continue spinning. Then for the next example, the only thing that you have to change is the code. Sometimes this is a glitch. I just want to give you a heads up. So when you go back to the editor, you might see this error right here. Just make sure you do one click, and then whatever temporary error you'll see, it should go away. If that happens to you, don't freak out, because a lot of the times you see the error and you're like, wait, what, did I change anything? Make sure you click first, and then as you notice, there's no errors. Now, if after you clicking, you still see some errors, then most likely it's because you need to update those IDs. So now let's go take a look here. We're gonna duplicate this one, and you're gonna notice the thing that happens now if you want to use the older code is very different. So we can just, I'm gonna have two codes on the page that you can just copy. Since you already have all the elements, all you had to do is just go to your new page, right? And then paste your new code. And then this example is to continuously spinning. So it's not gonna spin if you hover the element, it's just gonna continue spinning. So we gotta update our buttons. Since we already have all the right buttons here, we have 9, then I'm just gonna change it again. So this is gonna be 9. And then right here, we're gonna change it also to 9. And now we have that. And then our button, this one is button 9. So I have to change it here also, because as you can see, this is the one that closes the items. Button 9, and that's it. So now let's test it, make sure it works. And as you can see, it's just gonna spin automatically, and then you can just hover. And then the next thing you can do here is you can just select the whole box and then scroll to your right, and then go under position type. You can do pin, and that way you can have it stay always on the section, but you can do pin to the page. So that way, it doesn't matter if you keep scrolling to the bottom of the page, it will always follow. And then the next thing, just make sure we're gonna test the buttons. So when I close this button, this one appears. When I click this, that one appears. And the next thing is just changing the colors of your buttons if you want. On regular, on hover, let's say you want it to change to something like that. I would do different buttons. You can have it to be fun, you know, it doesn't have to be boring. And then let's do hover, and then let's do a different color. So you can do something like purple, and then watch what's gonna happen. So again, this is a way to keep your items very interactive. See that? And I didn't change all of them, but at least you have some. So that's how you can do it, to keep an interactive menu. And again, this is very useful because many times people do like, you know, you want to grab their attention. You want to make sure that you do something different. So make sure to, you know, not stay with all the boring stuff. More if you're selling products or you want to grab people's attention for your services. This is going to be very simple to do. The next thing, let's just publish this. And then adjusting everything for mobile is not that difficult. And more, I'll show you right now how to do that part. So let's see. Now it's published. And then we're going to make sure we visit this page. See, go to the URL. And as you can see here, it's spinning. But you notice it's going all over the place. This one is going all the way outside because they're not aligned correctly. So how you fix that? It's very simple. First, you're gonna select your item. We're gonna do this too. I'm selecting shift on my keyword and then stack. And then I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do stack. And then this one. I'm gonna do stack. And then this one's on the end, I'll just leave it outside unless you want to make your box a little bigger. Then you can arrange them. But now I have that right there. Oh, we forgot to add this third one right here on stock. So I gotta select this one, the one in the middle, and this one. And it has to be, don't forget this button. If not, it's gonna look all messy. Then we'll go here. And then I'll just gotta adjust the big box first. So this one is 419. So I'll change this to 419. And then if it's still too small, I can just do 450 and then do 450. And then from here, it's very easy to adjust. So when you click on your item, you're going to notice it highlighted this square. Just make sure you adjust it to the size there. And then this one as well. And then this one, same thing. And then once you have this one right here, you notice still like a little bit messy. So let's go back here and let's combine these three. So I'll select that stack and then I'm gonna select this other stack and then I'll add them all together. And now if we go here, it's gonna be easier. You just gotta be patient. You don't also have to use stack if you don't want to, but it does help a lot with how you adjust things. And then there is. And then this one you can just like adjust a little bit. Do 90. Do like 110. There you go. So that way this one can like you just gotta make sure you play with it. Then this one too. And now since this is pin, this one I will have it put on a place where I want it to display after I close the menu. So I will put it at the bottom of the page if I want to. So let's do something like that because this also we can pin the button. So right here, make sure you select your button, and then you're also gonna do pin, and you can do to page, and then once we can put it at the bottom right here. So whenever this it's gonna be spinning, and then you close it, then it's gonna show at the bottom. And then on this item, you do add an effect here that you can do a loop and just do like bounce. And that way, when this closes, you can just close. It's always gonna just be bouncing automatically. So now you have a dynamic, what do you call it? A dynamic menu or interactive menu. And it's actually really fun. A lot of people like it. I have done it for some clients and they're like very excited because they say that like they have drive traffic to their additional pages. So hopefully this is something that you like. If you like the video, want to support, make sure you follow. Let me know if you have any other ideas on things you want us to test, and have a wonderful, blessed day.